Hello everyone, today we're looking at this. This is a Motorola Gold series bag phone. This looks very similar to the Bagphone 2900. I'm not actually sure of the particular model of this particular one. I believe it's just known as Gold series. The 2900 bag phone basically looked identical to this in terms of buttons and the handset. But I don't think this is a 2900 purely because this is an SCN 2499A and that's not a 2900 or even a 2950. So this is a gold edition. As you can see, it's got yellow buttons and I'm going to power this up in a minute. But first, I'm going to show you the inside. You got an optional microphone. And I do know it's optional because I have the manual and a few other bits in it. And one of the bits is actually an accessory catalog. Let me quickly just pull this out. I do actually also have the original receipt, which is in yellow, which I'm going to show you, but only the top bit because it has the guy's details at the bottom. So that was bought, I'm going to take that out the plastic bag actually. That was bought Monday, October 17th, 1994, and it was bought for 126 bucks by the looks of it. Not too bad actually. I would have thought it would have sold for a lot more, but anyway, so these is here's the pamphlets you got. You got a NAM programming guide. You got an accessory guide, and of course you got the manual. Now, the microphone, according to this, was an optional extra, as it says on here. So, hands-free microphone, there we go, optional. It's got a whole bunch of pictures of what you can do with your phone, and anyway. Not interested in that really. Not interested in the manual either. What does interest me though is the phone. So basically you got obviously the cigarette lighter socket or plug for interfacing with your car cigarette lighter socket, which looks like this. This is one that I have connected to the wall socket, and you plug that in and obviously it'll power on. I'll do that in a minute though. But on the inside you got a nice bendy antenna here. And this one actually is in remarkably good condition. Whoever had this obviously paid the $120 odd for it with a subscription and looked after it, because this is actually in not bad a condition at all. So you undo the zipper down here and you have two things in here. One, you have a battery, and this is the standard battery, which slots in here, and this is actually real snug. A standard Motorola battery with a connector like so. Now that connector plugs into that little white bit there. So if you were outside of your car, you could power this and use this phone off the battery. And obviously once you're in the car and you plugged it into your cigarette lighter with a cord, you can unplug the battery or keep it plugged in if you wanted to charge it, and use the phone as required. Pretty neat, I think, but it's still quite bulky by comparison. Even by 5 years ago or 10 years ago, it is very bulky. Bearing in mind this was purchased in 1994. I believe it was even purchased, when was this? October 17th. Now, what's the date today? It's got to be the 18th of November, so this is 20 years and a month old, give or take a few days when I get around to posting this video on YouTube. It is over 20 years old, this phone, and it's in remarkably good condition. I do own some phones that are in significantly worse condition than this, so this one ain't too bad. And I do own a lot of phones where the batteries have corroded, or even where I've had to take the batteries out purely because they would have damaged the phone itself. I'm going to quickly zip this up. This is quite a snug fit, just so I can see what I'm doing. And I don't think this was designed really to be undone quite often, because it is a real tight fit. So anyway, right, antenna, cord, handset. So I'll plug this guy in and let's see what we get. Right, so straight away, right off the bat, you'll notice that this has a lovely yellow display. In fact, it's got a multicolored display, which actually in its own right at the time was quite rare, because the numbers are yellow and the bottom is green and red. And if you're looking at bag phones, that's not very common actually, which is why I got this. I really like the fact it was Gold series, and I didn't pay much for it. I did pay a fortune note to ship it internationally. So by the time you take into account shipping, international shipping, occasionally there's customs charges and other taxes and fees and all sorts of other crap, it doesn't make it worthwhile getting the phone. But on this occasion I thought it's definitely worth doing. So I don't know too much about this, but you got a shortcut key. The number 1 was basically 911, so if you press and held that, you'd obviously dial the emergency, and which it's doing right now. But because there's no analog service, you get the usual Motorola no service, which is that. This operated on amps, just like the majority of the bag phones. There are some newer bag phones that did operate on TDMA as well, the Concert series. I'm going to try and do a video about one of those as well at some point. But this particular one operated on amps, and since amps is long extinct, this is pretty much a paperweight. What else can I show you? You press the number 7, you got customer service, and that dials straight through to customer service. In this case, this was Bell South Mobility. I don't actually know what the number is that's programmed in here, but anyway, who cares? So what else can we show you? We can show you function 6. Was it function 4? No? Yes. This would be the battery meter. Of course, it's plugged into the to this, so obviously it's going to say full power on the battery meter. There is a signal strength meter as well, which I think is the first on the function. So if you go function and then no, how do you get into the menu on this? Maybe not, I don't know. I did do it earlier. Function 1. There we go. So that's the signal meter. It says it's currently on. To disable that, you'd press clear, and then that would become an underscore. Going through the menu then, real quick, 1 minute beep to tell you how long you've been on the phone for, auto timer, scratch pads, ringer silent. Obviously it's not silent because it's the underscore. To silence it, you'd have the 0 or the O for on. What else we got? Keypad silent, so if we enable that, now obviously it's silent. You do still get a little crackle actually. I don't know if y'all can hear that. So not the best actually. I'm going to disable that. What else? Answer, auto answer, auto lock, theft alarm, turbo, dial emergency, hang up for HF. I don't actually know what that is. Preferred name. What else? Call screen and extended talk. I'm guessing that would reduce the power to enable you to talk for longer. I'm not too sure. These phones do have some features that nowadays modern phones don't even have. So in the analog world it was quite different. Nowadays everything's digital, noughts and ones. This is old school. That's all I can say really about this particular phone. quickly disable that. Let's have a look and see how long it's been used. 333 minutes. Resettable cumulative 330. So actually this phone ain't done much. If you think 300 minutes would be what, 5 hours? So this has done 5.5 hours, 5 hours 33 minutes in its whole life. So actually that's not a lot. If you consider this phone is 20 years old, whoever had it obviously didn't use it much because it's in pristine condition. So but anyway, that's all I can say about this particular one. It does have the recall and store function, so the recall and store buttons, I should say. So this obviously had a phone book. It's got the shortcut keys as well, with the middle one being a message. Presumably these you programmed up for quick dial or speed dial. I'm not too sure how to do it. I do actually have the manual, so I can actually look it up. If y'all got one of these and you need some help, let me know, drop me a comment, and I'll try and help as best as I can. That's about it for this one. Serial number's GUG, so a U would be, well, that'd be 93, 94 possibly. Well, it was bought in 94, yeah, so that works roughly. So that's all I can say. As I said, feel free to check out some of the other videos that I have on here about some of the other old school phones in my collection. And give me a thumbs up if you like the phone or the video, and thanks for watching.